Well, Manuel Ugarte fee or transfer fee to be lowered by PSG, meaning that the talks that were held in Manchester or in UK have gone ahead. Obviously, Bearfields and United are really going to really get their man if all goes as to plan. Welcome to the United Matters channel. How are you guys and where are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rock and David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're already watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. As one player of Uruguay is really planning to come to the club of Manchester United. One known as Facundo Pellistri looks like is really on the edge of leaving the club of Manchester United, and there is a new role that has been created at Manchester United, and it shows you how bad we've been doing into what we call the hierarchy of Manchester United, and as far as the board is really concerned, and people are really showing us, and Ineos is really showing us that we were really living on borrowed time. So we thank God for the gift of life and also thank Allah for the gift of life. Continue to subscribe, see to it that everything really moves on as planned into the mix. So that is it, and for the Muslims, Barakallahu Fikum, and let's obviously get going into the mix. Now, as it stands, we obviously have a story that is coming in through from, I think this is a French source. You know, no, it's not a French source. It's a source coming in from Uruguay. And remember, Manuel Ugarte is a born and bred boy from Uruguay. And they've told us that United and PSG are closer to an agreement for the signing of Ugarte after negotiations over the weekend. PSG are lowering their demands and Ugarte is pushing for the move. Jorge Mendes is working between Manchester United and PSG to try and formulate a deal between the two clubs. Now, when you look at Jorge Mendes, yesterday he was in the United Kingdom to discuss this deal, and it was Fabrizio Romano that told us. But it looks like before he even came to UK, he had some involvements with, or some engagements with the side of PSG on the deal of Manuel Ugarte, because he's the agent and he's like, you people are really doing disjustice to my client. How do you dare call for 70 million euros? And yet, when I was bringing this player from from Sporting Lisbon to this side, you told me that you are going to get him ample playing time. You get? And in the due course of obviously getting him ample playing time, you know, he has on several occasions found himself in a proper position of really putting up a shift and really putting up everything possible to really get into the team of Enrique, but he's not getting the team of Enrique, and he has been giving 100% every time you've gone ahead to put him on the field of play, meaning that he is not the problem as to why his price tag is really, he's not the problem as to why the amount of money you're requesting for is not really seen as risk accurate or realistic for him to cross from PSG to the club of Manchester United. Calling in for 70 million euros is like pricing him out of the move to obviously go ahead and really get ample playing time. And what you have to do is simple: go ahead and really do the due diligence of obviously going to negotiate with the club of Manchester United and find a common ground for this deal. And obviously that is really gonna be the reason as to why most of the people have found themselves in a position of obviously really getting a story like this that is really full of positive stuff and really move, because the agent sat down PSG hierarchy and told them that, please, you want 70 million euros, you know? How come you want a player who hasn't gone ahead to be featuring really a lot into your team to pay that amount of money to go in for 70 million euros, you know? And they're like, all right, we are willing to lower the fee. And he's using his experience to tell them that this deal, no club is willing to obviously offer the amount of money that you want. I've gone ahead to talk to very many people, and they're not willing to obviously offer the amount of money that you're really calling in for to obviously get the signature of Manuel Ugarte. You understand? So I think that is going to obviously see to it that they're going to hit obviously lower the price. And I tell you, I think PSG thought that they were dealing with the recent with the United that used to obviously be ransomed by other teams, yet a lot of things have gonna hit to change. And I tell you what, these people in here at the club of Manchester United are really very, very vigilant, and they are a side that doesn't want to come up and obviously not do the needful when it comes obviously paying the right money for the right players, meaning that with no right price you won't obviously get them offside. So that is what you're getting in through from the side of Uruguay, and they are like, United are really closing in to obviously get this deal done and dusted. And the point I wanted to hear was all about a team known as PSG willing to lower the price of Manuel Ugarte, because it's really very, very, very insane to obviously call in for 70 million euros for a player who hasn't been even getting into your starting 11s, and you want to sell him to Manchester United. And Manchester United is like, all right, however much you people want to be doing that, it can't really work out that way. You understand? And obviously, United is really working thick and fast to get this deal done and dusted. Then a story coming in from RMS, that is Fabrice Hawkins. He works with RMS and BMF TV. He has told us that Manchester United and PSG are actively negotiating for Manuel Ugarte. You understand? So, obviously, the negotiations are on, and what confirms that they are on are the stories that you're really getting in right about now from the people that matter. And these sources are coming in from France, and if I told you here, these sources coming in from France, you have to give them due respect. You remember, for the deal of a player, Lenny Yoro, it were the French reports that first broke the story that Manchester United have come out and obviously agreed a deal, and Lenny Yoro is going to be a player for the club of Manchester United. You understand? So I think a lot is really going to be coming in through to really see to it that this player really comes into the club of Manchester United. Negotiations are on, and with George Mendes negotiating those deals, I tell you, United might see themselves really getting their player, because he's an agent who knows how to obviously trigger around with things, and he can come up with a situation that can be seen as a win-win situation for both teams, Manchester United and PSG. And this time round, he's negotiating for his agent. We've gone ahead to see him negotiate deals for players like Bruno Fernandes that are coming through to Manchester United. You understand? When he's not even his agent, he was like the intermediary. But this time round, he's negotiating a deal for his client, that is Manuel Ugarte, and we all believe that he's really gonna put in the best effort to see to it that the guy comes in through at the club of Manchester United as the priority signing that is needed by Manchester United. And I believe it's really gonna mean a lot to me and to you, the fans of Manchester United, if at all Manuel Ugarte comes in through, because he's a very brilliant player that I believe is going to really make a very huge mark at the club of, or leave a huge mark at the club of Manchester United. So that is Manuel Ugarte for you. I know lots of stories are going to be developing today about Manuel Ugarte after the unveiling of Matthias de Ligt and Mazrui yesterday. The next step is 2 more players. We anticipate 2 more players, and departures are really gonna be worked upon very soon by the club of Manchester United. So guys, thank you very much for watching through, and Rokan David is my name, and let's continue to obviously do the needful and obviously continue working to the fullest. And that is Manuel Ugarte's story for you. Now, as Manuel Ugarte is really working to obviously see to it that obviously joins the club of Manchester United, his fellow countryman, that is Facundo Pellistri, looks like he's gonna be shown the exit door at the club of Manchester United. And this is coming in through from Gazzetta dello Sport. That is it from Italy. 2 million followers on X are telling us that Bologna and Cagliari have both moved for Facundo Pellistri in the recent hours. And this is good news for the club of Manchester United, because I believe we need more outgoings to facilitate. We need more outgoings to facilitate the incomings. You get? Facundo Pellistri is a very good player. You even saw him during the Community Shield when he was played as a right back by the manager Erik ten Hag, meaning that a lot had to be injected into him to obviously be a versatile player. And we had never gone here to see him being played as a right back and most of the times he has been played as a right winger or a left winger. But he showed us how good he is, and if at all you remember what he did, all his efforts in the first goal were really good, and he's the man that really orchestrated that pass to Bruno Fernandes, and Bruno Fernandes looked out for Garnacho. Garnacho utilized that open central defense of that open central defense of Man City, and went ahead to score that beautiful goal. So with all those performances, two other clubs have gone ahead of joined Panathinaikos, because Panathinaikos in Greece had gone ahead to show interest, and now two players in Italy are coming in. I was feeling a little bit of perturbed by clubs not showing interest in the top leagues of the world, and only Panathinaikos was showing his potential. But if at all Cagliari and Bologna have gone ahead obviously do some good stuff, then that is really good. I think we can do some good business with Bologna, because we've just gone ahead to see Manchester United get a player from Bologna known as Ugarte. And if Ugarte has gone ahead to come in through from Bologna, that means we are having a very huge chance of really seeing this player go and play for Bologna. I think we should sell him to Bologna. That is it. Let's sell him to Serie A and see to it that obviously gets himself up and running. And I think you can sell him on a cheap, like 10 million euros, and you put in like a 20-30 buyback clause for the player. You get, because those 10 million euros will help us into what we call the incomings for the club of Manchester United. I tell you, if United had money, they would even get in close to 6-7 players, and so far we've gone ahead to get in 4, and that is exactly what Ralf Rangnick meant by an open heart surgery, that you need to obviously get in players on their first contract and obviously integrate them with those that have gone ahead to obviously prove that they're really good enough at the club of Manchester United. So as it stands, it is really great to see to it that everything really moves on as planned, right? So that is Manuel Ugarte for you. Sorry, that is Facundo Pellistri for you, and he has kept his feet and mind. He has not gone ahead to reach the level of handing in what we call a transfer request, because for him, Erik ten Hag sees something great in him, though the player wants to play more. And as we speak right now, if we can sell him and get in some money, that is great, because he cannot obviously compete with the likes of Rashford, Garnacho, Anthony, Sancho, and Amadi Diallo. You know, so we have to obviously move him on, and he's at the age where he needs to be playing games in, games out. That is Facundo Pellistri for you. So we wait and see how Facundo Pellistri is really gonna be given green light to do the due diligence. Lastly, United have gone ahead obviously create another position that has of recent not been here in all of the hierarchy of Manchester United, and finally we are having what to obviously show to the world, and it's all about former United Academy player and Charlton Athletic head coach Michael Appleton is returning to the club as a loans manager. Dan Ashworth has a close relationship with him from their time together at West Bromwich. Now, this is a position that has not been at Manchester United. You understand? Have you ever gone ahead to hear that we had what we call a loan manager? You get, now we are having a person who is typically responsible for loaning out players, and that shows you why we haven't gone ahead to be really offering the right loans to the players that we have. Yet it's said that we are really having some of the best scouts and some of the best players, and the way we obviously usher into them into their senior careers has been the problem, and that is something we have to find a solution for, and the loans manager has gone ahead to come in through. And guys, when Christopher Vivell came in through, I was like, maybe he's responsible for that, because he has gone ahead to do some good business for the side of Chelsea on loans, and then Jason Wilcox at Man City, where he really did a good job into that. But to our surprise, they've gone ahead to bring in another person who is responsible for the loans, and he's really doing great in there as a guy. So wait and see how that's going to happen, but that really means a lot to the academy graduates of Manchester United. on where they're going to be really given chance to obviously go ahead and really do the needful, because there should be a plan for a player. If at all we have a player and the United wants to loan him, we have to look at his age and obviously get to know that at that age, where does he fit? That is the most important bit of it all, because we are challenged by the likes of Man City. They are selling players for £20 million, yet they haven't gone ahead to kick a ball for Man City. You know, they are selling players for £20 million and putting what we call the sell-on clause, and they're getting in like 10-20 million pounds back. So Man City are really doing a credible job, and that is something that Manchester United should obviously start doing. But we've gotten to know why they've been able to do such stuff. They've been able to do such stuff because they've been having a loan manager, a position that wasn't there at Manchester United. It has been created by Dan Ashworth, and we're waiting to see what the results are really gonna be for that position being created at the club of Manchester United. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Tell me your thoughts about Ugarte transfer fee to be lowered by PSG. Tell me your thoughts about it. Facundo Pellistri double interest. And lastly, your moment or your thoughts onto the new loan manager that is coming in through to the club of Manchester United. We out. May the living to God bless you abundantly, and the Muslims, Barakallahu Fikum. We out, my mates.